In the recent Supreme Court case that Texas had filed, of course they kicked it out, and so Alan West from Texas has made the suggestion that possibly Texas should consider seceding from the Union. And of course, we heard this kind of talk back in 1860, and of course, several states did secede. And why did they? Well, it was based on differences of the way that people in the South were as opposed to people in the North were. Now, we commonly look at it as, well, this was completely a slavery issue, but in truth, it was not completely a slavery issue. It was a lot over states' rights, and the South had gotten into a position where they were less populated than the North, and they just had less say in the government. And so this presented the same sort of problem that we're getting into today. Now, today's problems aren't just about minor differences, but we have the division in America that's so bad that you just have to wonder if any of our differences can be reconciled through lawmaking. So today, conservatives are now in that position where we've got past the safe harbor day. Today, the electors will be picking Biden to be the president, no doubt. Now, does that mean that Trump isn't going to continue in the courts? It doesn't mean that at all. Does it mean that he won't succeed? Well, he might. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, today's conservative has to be concerned with a socialist takeover. They have to be concerned not just about the integrity of this particular election, but it looks like that the Democrats will continue to do things that will make their chances of winning elections much better. They may even do things like bring in extra states to make sure they've got more senators and make sure that they have everything that they need in order to maintain power. And so, with no confidence in the election, a lot of times conservatives will get ideas in their head that, well, maybe we'd be better off in a whole different union. Now, let's take a look at what this Democrat had to say about Republicans.
I also want to echo something that my friend EJ said. It's not only that Trump has to lose, but that all his enablers have to lose. We have to collectively, in essence, burn down the Republican Party. We have to level them, because if there are survivors, if there are people who weather this storm, they will do it again. They will take this as confirmation that, hey, it just pays to ride the waves. Look at me, I've made it through. And so up and down the ticket, federal, state, local offices, the country has to repudiate this.
Okay, to be sure, we have an incredibly different view of America and what it is. To the conservative, America is a sacred thing. To conservatives, we believe that America was founded righteously. We believe that what has happened in the past, while not perfect, has just been what's brought us to where we're at today. We believe that in an awful lot of cases, things like the social injustices that still do exist to some degree have been addressed and are being addressed adequately, and that we're making a lot of progress. To the liberal, they believe that America is a corrupt country that was just founded in the sin of slavery, that everything about our country is bad and it probably just ought to be abolished. We ought to just get rid of the Constitution, and we ought to just start all over with this socialist utopia that they want. And so this problem is huge, and this divide gives us an area where we just want to get away from it. We don't want any part of that. Capitalism versus socialism. We want capitalism. We want people to have the rights to go out and make their own business if they want, make their own life, earn money, and not have it all stolen from them by the government if they do. And we also believe, as conservatives and capitalists, that it's a good thing that companies get big. It's a good thing that they provide jobs. It's a good thing that they have money to invest in future development so that more people can have jobs. We believe in a trickle-down type of an economy that rising tides do indeed lift all boats. On the other hand, a socialist believes that maybe people shouldn't even work at all, or if they do, the government should own their business. They should own everything. They should own all the capital. And this has been tried in the Soviet Union. Didn't work out so well. The divide between liberals and conservatives goes beyond that, though. It goes into areas of God or no God. Liberals have a tendency to want to try to push God out of everything. Conservatives have a tendency to believe that even if they might not be Christians, they like the concept of a Judeo-Christian value system in their country. Another really big issue is that we don't want to be part of the big one world system, the one world government, the global system that the liberals want. We have an America First agenda. We have an agenda that says we want our country to be independent, that we want it to be sovereign, and that we believe that our best interest in the future lies in our best interest in our own country. Another thing that conservatives tend to believe in, that we should maintain the nuclear family, that we believe in a wife and a husband and a couple of kids and the dog and the white picket fence sort of a life, where the liberals have got this thing where they want to destroy all of Western culture and make America into a whole different type of a culture, where it has a lot to do with like this document that they had in the Smithsonian on whiteness. And everything, about whiteness was, oh, well, white people think you should be on time, and they think you should be self-sufficient, and they think you should get a job, and all these things. And it really, to me, if I were a minority, it would have been embarrassing to me to think that you don't want to be responsible, that you don't want to be on time, that you don't want to have a normal family, that you want to have 62 genders. I don't believe that there's a lot of Americans that really truly believe that, and yet it's totally being shoved down our throat. Conservatives don't like it, and they don't want any part of it. Republican Party of Texas Chairman Allen West suggested states should secede from the Union after the Supreme Court refused to hear a case President Donald Trump wanted to use to overturn the presidential election. This decision establishes a precedent that says states can violate the U.S. Constitution and not be held accountable, West said. Perhaps law-abiding states should bond together and form a union of states that will abide by the Constitution. His comments were quickly read as a push for secession, what Southern states did in the lead-up to the Civil War in a dispute over slavery. Texas GOP Chairman Allen West suggested states should secede from the Union after the Supreme Court refused to hear a Texas-based case President Donald Trump hoped to use as a vehicle to overturn the results of the presidential election. West wrote, "Perhaps law-abiding states should bond together and form a union of states that abide by the Constitution," in a statement released shortly after the Supreme Court refused to take up the Trump-backed case. The Supreme Court on Friday denied a Hail Mary effort by the Attorney General of Texas, who had asked the court to intervene and overturn the election in 4 states that went to Joe Biden, dealing a blow to Trump's legal strategy. And then, of course, you've got the whole, we don't want a police force. We want to get rid of policemen. We want to defund the police. You got crazy places like Minneapolis that decided, okay, well, we just don't want police, and then all of a sudden they're finding out that maybe they shouldn't have wished for what they ended up getting. And this is going to continue on, and there's just issue after issue that we have irreconcilable differences on. And it's really a problem. So it's going to be very, very difficult. We just don't have enough in common with the left to even make sensible laws or coherent policies based on a commonness that we just don't have. And so this is not a call to secession. I'm not recommending that we all, demand that our state secede from the Union. It's not that at all. It's that I do see that why people would say these things, and I do see why we might be moving in that direction if somehow, some way, we're not able to get the government out of our business and to let people live their lives the way they want to live them. I don't have a problem with people on the left living their life any way they want to. If they want to be gay and marry, 3 men and 2 women at the same time, well, do what you want to do. I don't care. It's not on me. But I don't want anybody on that side of the fence telling me how I need to live my life either, nor do most conservatives feel that way. I don't need no liberals coming to my door asking for my guns. I don't need any liberals telling me what I can say, when I can say it, and where I can say it. These are big problems. They may be irreconcilable differences. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, that's what I have to say about Allen West's comment on secession. Not saying we should secede from the Union, just saying that, yes, we have some serious problems that might make people say this in the future. So have a great day, and I will talk to you in a while.